Hello, dear friends. I'm Alder Santos, and welcome to our channel, Baseball Legends. Few names evoke as much emotion, nostalgia, and controversy as that of Sammy Sosa. From humble beginnings in the vibrant Dominican Republic to becoming one of Major League Baseball's most iconic figures in the 1990s, Sosa's journey is worthy of a movie script. He not only captured fans' hearts with his infectious smile and explosive talent, but also became the protagonist in one of the sport's greatest home run chases, the legendary 1998 duel with Mark McGwire. That season marked a new era, reigniting the public's love for baseball after a dark period, and Sammy stood center stage. But it wasn't all glory. Behind the thunderous applause and impressive stats, shadows would emerge in the years that followed. Accusations of performance-enhancing drug use, a high-profile corked bat incident, and a near-mysterious retreat from the MLB spotlight left lasting marks on the legacy of one of the greatest sluggers of his generation. As a figure who divided opinions, Sosa went from international hero to enigmatic character, sparking heated debates about justice, memory, and the true essence of a sports icon. Watch this video until the end and share your opinion in the comments. Should Sammy Sosa be remembered as a baseball hero, or is his legacy tarnished by controversy? We want to know what you think. In this video, we'll dive deep into who Sammy Sosa really was. The man, the myth, and the symbol of an era. We'll revisit his magical moments, historic records, the scandals that shook his image, and the cultural impact that transcended the baseball field. Get ready for an intense journey through a career defined by extremes. From absolute glory to media obscurity, from idol worship to controversial headlines. Who is Sammy Sosa, really? And what is his rightful place in baseball history? Let's find out together. Sammy Sosa was born on November 12, 1968, in San Pedro de Macorís, a coastal city in the Dominican Republic known for producing numerous baseball talents. Growing up in extreme poverty, Sammy's childhood was marked by hardship, with limited access to basic resources like adequate food and quality education. He came from a large family, and after the early death of his father when Sammy was only 7, the financial situation worsened drastically. From a young age, he had to help his mother with odd jobs to support his siblings. He could often be seen shining shoes or washing cars in the streets, always wearing a smile and carrying a positive attitude that made him stand out in the community. Despite the adversity, Sosa found in baseball a way to escape the limitations of his world. In a town where the sport was a collective passion, he grew up watching kids and adults playing in makeshift fields between neighborhoods. Inspired by local idols and the few Dominicans who had made it to the MLB, Sammy began training with whatever he had: broomsticks for bats, bottle caps as balls, and cardboard gloves. He and his friends would turn any open space into a ballpark, and even with scarce resources, creativity and love for the game were in abundance. This formative period shaped not only his skills, but also his resilience and determination, traits that would define his career. As a teenager, Sosa started to stand out locally, catching the attention of scouts and amateur coaches. His raw talent was undeniable. He had impressive power, above-average speed, and an infectious enthusiasm. More than technique, what he showed was a hunger to win, to change his life, and to break free from his reality through sport. In a country where baseball is one of the few legitimate paths to social mobility, Sammy treated every training session as a golden opportunity. He began playing in youth leagues and gradually made his way into development programs run by MLB teams seeking promising talent in Latin America. At just 16 years old, he got his first big break. He was discovered by a Texas Ranger scout who was blown away by his bat power and competitive spirit. In 1985, Sammy signed his first professional contract, receiving a modest signing bonus that meant the world to his family. This marked the start of a new chapter, one where he physically left behind the poverty of San Pedro de Macorís, but carried with him all the lessons and scars from his childhood. Adapting to the U.S. minor league system wasn't easy. He faced cultural, language, and social barriers, but his determination kept him on course. Even while already part of the MLB system, Sosa never forgot where he came from. His first years in the U.S. were filled with learning, but also homesickness. He often sent money back to his mother and siblings and made sure to return to the Dominican Republic whenever possible. In later interviews, Sammy often highlighted how his difficult childhood shaped his work ethic. He knew that success in baseball wasn't guaranteed, and every game, every practice, every chance was a way to honor his roots. The pride he felt in representing his city and country was always evident in his demeanor on and off the field. Sammy Sosa's story is a powerful example of how talent, combined with perseverance, can overcome overwhelming circumstances. From a childhood where he improvised baseball bats out of broomsticks, he rose to become one of the most famous players on the planet. His journey inspires not just baseball fans, but anyone facing seemingly insurmountable challenges. The humility of his early years shaped his character and influenced the way he approached his career, becoming not just a sports icon, but a symbol of hope for thousands of young Dominicans who dream of following in his footsteps. Sosa made his Major League Baseball debut in 1989 with the Texas Rangers. At the time, he was still a developing young player, full of raw potential but far from the feared slugger the world would come to know in the following years. His start in the league was relatively modest. Playing as an outfielder, he showed flashes of talent, particularly with his speed and energy on the field. However, his stint with the Rangers was short-lived. That same year, he was traded to the Chicago White Sox, a move that would change the direction of his career, although the real turning point was still ahead. During his time with the Chicago White Sox, Sosa got more playing time and started developing his skills as a power hitter. However, his performance remained inconsistent, and he was criticized for his low batting average and high strikeout rate. Still, his athletic ability and charisma stood out, and he continued to be seen as a player with the potential to become a star if he could refine his technique and gain more plate discipline. His journey with the White Sox ended in 1992 when he was traded to their crosstown rival, the Chicago Cubs, a move that would prove crucial in the making of a baseball legend. It was with the Chicago Cubs, starting in 1992, that Sammy Sosa truly began to flourish. Facing a fresh start at Wrigley Field, he quickly won over fans with his contagious energy, aggressive batting style, and dedication to the game. In his early years with the Cubs, Sosa began establishing himself as a respected hitter, steadily putting up impressive numbers, especially in home runs. The team found in him a central piece of their offensive lineup, and Sosa responded with consistent growth. Chicago's passionate and demanding fan base found a new hero in Sammy, someone who played with heart and symbolized the grit and hope for better days ahead for the franchise. The true peak of his rise would come in the following years, particularly during the legendary 1998 season. But even as early as 1993 and 1994, Sosa was making a name for himself with strong campaigns, showing a powerful mix of strength, speed, and enthusiasm. His natural charisma and passionate reactions, like his iconic hop after a home run, created a special bond with the fans. Throughout the 90s, he became one of the most recognizable faces in Major League Baseball, not just for his stats, but for the way he played and celebrated the game. His debut in 1989 may have been modest, but his career trajectory became one of the most exciting and transformative in recent baseball history. During the 1990s, Sammy Sosa went from a promising athlete to one of Major League Baseball's most dominant figures. He quickly earned a reputation as an explosive power hitter, capable of changing the course of a game with a single swing. The combination of speed, agility, and raw strength made Sosa a nightmare for opposing pitchers. Starting in the mid-90s, he began posting impressive seasons, consistently surpassing the 30-home run mark. This evolution was the result of intense physical and technical development, as well as his on-field dedication, a work ethic shaped by his humble roots in the Dominican Republic. His offensive explosion reached its peak between 1998 and 2001, when Sosa posted historic numbers that placed him among the greatest sluggers in baseball history. In 1998, he hit 66 home runs, entering a legendary race for the record with Mark McGwire that captivated fans and reignited interest in baseball after some tough years for the league. Sosa's performance that year was even more impressive because, in addition to his power, he maintained high numbers in hits and RBIs, earning him the National League MVP award. In the following years, he remained consistent, hitting 63 home runs in 1999 and 64 in 2001, an unprecedented feat as he became the only player in history to hit 60 or more home runs in 3 different seasons. These astronomical numbers cemented Sosa as one of the greatest names in modern baseball. His achievements turned him into a global icon, especially among Latin American fans, who saw him as an inspiration and a symbol of pride. He became one of the most recognized athletes on the planet, frequently appearing in commercials, magazine covers, and TV shows. His vibrant energy, passionate playing style, and natural charisma made him not only a sports phenomenon, but also a cultural figure during the late 90s. Sammy Sosa's offensive explosion, though later surrounded by controversy, marked an unforgettable era in baseball history. The 1998 season was a turning point not just in Sammy Sosa's career, but in the history of modern baseball. That year, Sosa starred in one of the most thrilling and memorable races in sports history alongside Mark McGwire, both chasing the legendary single-season home run record of 61, set by Roger Maris in 1961. The Dominican slugger, who had already been gaining recognition for his power, exploded in June with an incredible stretch of 20 home runs, quickly capturing the attention of the media and fans. With each home run, the excitement grew, turning Cubs games into full-on spectacles. While McGwire was the first to break Maris's record and finished with 70 home runs, Sosa ended the year with 66, becoming just the second player in history to surpass that legendary mark, an extraordinary achievement in itself. Sosa's impact during the 1998 season was so profound that he was named the National League's most valuable player, even though McGwire hit more home runs. The difference lay in Sosa's all-around performance. He led the Cubs to the playoffs and showed remarkable consistency both on and off the field. His contagious joy, signature hops after home runs, and trademark chest tap and kiss gesture won over fans across the country, especially within the Latino community, who saw themselves represented on one of the biggest stages in American sports. The rivalry between Sosa and McGwire was marked by mutual respect, creating a positive and uplifting atmosphere that made the season even more unforgettable. Beyond the record-breaking numbers, the 1998 season stood out for what it symbolized: a kind of rebirth for baseball after the 1994 players' strike, which had severely damaged MLB's image. Sosa and McGwire, through their historic home run chase, reconnected the public with the game, drawing huge crowds to ballparks and boosting TV ratings. In Chicago, Sosa was treated like a hero, honored not just as a player, but as a true ambassador of the sport. He became a cultural icon that summer, and his performance entered the collective memory as one of the greatest athletic feats ever witnessed. The magical 1998 season not only solidified Sammy Sosa as a living legend, but also restored baseball's vibrant and passionate soul. The rivalry between Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire during the 1998 season was, without a doubt, one of the most iconic in sports history, but also one of the most respectful and friendly. Even with the intense competition to break the home run record, the two maintained a relationship of mutual admiration and friendship that captured the hearts of fans. In a sports world often marked by tension and trash talk, Sosa and McGwire showed that it was possible to compete at the highest level with elegance and sportsmanship. During matchups between the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals, each plate appearance was met with anticipation, but also with camaraderie. One of the most memorable moments occurred when McGwire hit his 62nd home run to break the record, and Sosa ran over to the field to embrace him, a spontaneous act of respect that moved the entire country. This warm relationship between the two stars helped turn the 1998 season into a near-mythical event for baseball fans. Their interactions went beyond the field. Joint interviews, shared laughs, and public praise for one another showed that despite being on opposite sides of a historic race, there was more unity than rivalry. This friendship added a unique tone to the narrative of that year, reinforcing the spirit of celebration and reconnection that swept through MLB. For many fans, seeing Sosa and McGwire together was witnessing the pure essence of sports. Fierce competition, yes, but also respect and humanity. Their friendly rivalry remains a rare and inspiring example of how sports can unite even those fighting for the same goal. In 1998, Sammy Sosa reached the peak of his career by being named the National League MVP, Most Valuable Player. Although Mark McGwire led the home run race with 70, it was Sosa's overall performance that won over the voters. He finished the season with 66 home runs, 158 RBIs, and an impressive on-field presence that went beyond statistics. Sosa helped lead the Cubs to the playoffs, playing a crucial role in the team's wild card qualification. More than that, he became a true fan favorite. His vibrant energy, charisma, and contagious passion for the game made him the face of the season for many fans, especially within the Latino community, who saw him as a symbol of pride and perseverance. Sosa's selection as MVP reflected not only his technical excellence, but also the cultural and emotional impact he had during that magical year. Amid the explosion of television ratings and renewed interest in baseball following difficult years for the league, Sosa embodied the spirit of MLB's revival. His signature gesture of kissing his fingers and tapping his heart after home runs became iconic, as did his ever-present smile and positive attitude. He brought fans together, inspired children, and added a rare lightness to the competitive scene. His MVP win was more than an individual award. It was the recognition of an inspiring journey and a season that rekindled America's love for baseball. Sammy Sosa achieved an extraordinary and unprecedented feat in Major League Baseball history. He became the only player to record 3 seasons with 60 or more home runs. This incredible milestone occurred in 1998, 1999, and 2001, solidifying his reputation as one of the greatest sluggers of all time. In 1998, he hit 66 home runs during his legendary race with Mark McGwire. The following year, he impressed again with 63 home runs, proving his performance wasn't just a one-time burst. And in 2001, Sosa completed his magical trio with 64 home runs, during a time when the competition was intense and the physical and mental demands of the sport were at their peak. What made these 3 seasons even more impressive was the consistency and adaptability Sosa showed. Hitting over 60 home runs in a single year is already a rare feat. Doing it 3 times is nearly superhuman. He faced increasingly well-prepared pitchers, endured intense media scrutiny, and still maintained a level of offensive production that bordered on the unbelievable. His powerful swings, confident stance at the plate, and ability to capitalize on even the smallest mistakes by pitchers made him a feared presence in any lineup. This accomplishment not only etched his name into baseball history, but also proved that, for a remarkable period, Sammy Sosa was synonymous with power, spectacle, and excellence. After Sammy Sosa's retirement, his career began to be reassessed under the shadow of suspicions related to performance-enhancing drugs. Although he never officially tested positive during his active career, his name appeared on a list released in 2009 of players who had allegedly tested positive during confidential tests conducted in 2003. The controversy intensified when he testified before the U.S. Congress in 2005, denying steroid use, though his credibility was questioned by parts of the media and public opinion. These suspicions tarnished the image of the former icon and sparked intense debates about his eligibility for the Hall of Fame, with many questioning whether his impressive offensive stats were legitimate or chemically enhanced. Another controversial episode in his career occurred in 2003, when Sosa was caught using a corked bat, a bat filled with cork or other light material to increase swing speed and theoretically improve offensive performance. The incident happened during a game against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and Sosa was ejected immediately after the broken bat revealed the tampering. He claimed the bat was only used for batting practice and exhibition purposes, and that he had mistakenly brought it into a real game. Despite the explanation, the incident further stained his reputation, raising doubts about his competitive integrity. Sosa was suspended for 7 games, and the scandal became one of the low points of his career, contributing to the critical lens through which part of the Dominican sluggers' legacy has since been viewed. In the years following his retirement, Sammy Sosa gradually distanced himself from the official Major League Baseball scene, despite having played a central role in one of the sport's most exciting eras. He never made a significant return to the professional circuit, not as a commentator, coach, or in official MLB events. Many interpreted this absence as a result of the controversies surrounding his career, particularly those involving PEDs and the corked bat incident. Moreover, his relationship with the Chicago Cubs, the team where he had his greatest moments, also became strained for a time, with reports of behind-the-scenes disagreements and a lack of mutual recognition. This institutional silence around Sosa fueled speculation and made his absence from tributes and historic ceremonies even more noticeable. Another factor that kept media interest alive was the remarkable change in his physical appearance, especially his skin tone. In various public appearances starting in the 2010s, Sosa appeared with visibly lighter skin, which sparked a wave of questions and even theories on social media. In interviews, he stated that he used skin-lightening creams as part of a cosmetic treatment and denied any negative motives or attempts to change his identity. Nevertheless, the aesthetic change made headlines in multiple countries and contributed to the former player being remembered more for his current appearance than for his historic accomplishments on the field. This media focus further distanced Sosa from the traditional MLB narrative, turning him into an enigmatic and, to many, misunderstood figure. Despite the controversies that surrounded his career, Sammy Sosa remains a beloved figure to many baseball fans, especially in Chicago. During his time with the Cubs, he not only stood out as one of the league's most prolific hitters, but also became a symbol of hope and excitement for a city deeply passionate about its team. His iconic celebrations, like his hop after a home run and his kisses to the sky, created an emotional connection with the crowd that went beyond the numbers. For Cubs fans, Sosa represented not just power at the plate, but a vibrant spirit and contagious joy that turned every game into a spectacle. Sosa's cultural impact is equally significant, especially within the Latin American context. As one of the first Dominican players to achieve global fame in MLB, he inspired a generation of young athletes in his country and throughout Latin America to dream of making it to the big leagues. His story of overcoming adversity, from humble beginnings in the Dominican Republic to the spotlight of the sports world, resonated deeply with those who saw baseball as a way to transform their lives. During the 1990s, he became an unofficial ambassador for the Dominican Republic, proudly promoting his roots in interviews, events, and public appearances. His success helped open doors and increase visibility for Latino players in American baseball. Even after stepping away from the MLB spotlight, Sammy Sosa's influence lives on in the collective memory of the sport. The 1998 season, marked by the epic home run race alongside Mark McGwire, is frequently cited as one of the most electrifying moments in modern baseball history. Despite the critical reassessment of that era due to performance-enhancing drug issues, many fans still remember that time with nostalgia and admiration. The energy Sosa brought to the game, his standout presence in the clubhouse, and his role in revitalizing interest in baseball in the post-strike years all contribute to a legacy that is complex, but undeniably significant. Sammy Sosa may have become a controversial figure, but his cultural impact endures, and for many, it remains deeply positive. Sammy Sosa is, without a doubt, one of the most fascinating and controversial figures in modern baseball history. His journey, marked by moments of glory and episodes of controversy, reflects the complexities of a sport that has undergone profound transformations over the past few decades. Coming from humble beginnings in the Dominican Republic, Sosa won over millions of fans around the world with his explosive talent and infectious charisma. To many, he symbolized perseverance, resilience, and the possibility of dreams coming true. His story touched people because it proved that with determination, even the poorest kid could reach the grandest stages in sports. In the 1990s, Sosa was more than just an athlete. He became a cultural icon. His energy on the field, his famous kisses to the sky after home runs, and his friendly rivalry with Mark McGwire helped rekindle a love for baseball at a time when the sport was still recovering from the 1994 strike. The 1998 season, in particular, was magical for fans. It was impossible not to get excited with every home run, every new record, every game that could change history. Sosa didn't just break records. He broke barriers, won hearts, and inspired a new generation of fans and young athletes. However, like many names from that era, his career was later revisited under the critical lens of investigations into performance-enhancing drugs. The revelation of a corked bat in 2003 and the still unresolved suspicions regarding steroid use cast shadows over his achievements. These episodes sparked heated debates about ethics, merit, and the true meaning of legacy. For many, these controversies tarnished his image. For others, they were merely chapters in a very human story, one filled with flaws, but also with genuine brilliance and extraordinary accomplishments. Sosa's distance from MLB and his physical changes also fueled a certain mystery around him. His absence from Cubs ceremonies and his reluctance to speak on delicate topics made him seem, at times, like a distant figure from what he once represented. Still, his name continues to echo through the halls of Wrigley Field and in the memories of fans who lived through that unforgettable summer of 1998. The image of Sosa running the bases with a smile on his face remains vivid, lovingly etched in the hearts of those who love the game. Reflecting on Sammy Sosa's legacy is also reflecting on baseball itself, a sport in constant evolution, shaped by imperfect heroes and moments that defy simple definitions. Sosa's greatness lies not only in the numbers he achieved, but in the emotion he sparked, the hope he spread, and the way he briefly united fans around something magical. Despite all the controversies, he left an indelible mark on the game and helped write one of the most thrilling chapters in MLB history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more fascinating content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. And be sure to leave your comment below. Ultimately, Sammy Sosa reflects the beauty and complexity of sports. Pure talent, tireless effort, glory, downfall, redemption, and remembrance. His journey continues to generate discussion, raise questions, and stir emotion. And perhaps that's what makes his legacy so powerful. It's not simple, it's not unanimous, but it's real. And in the end, it's that truth that keeps his name alive as one of the great figures of baseball's golden era. Until the next journey, dear baseball-loving friends,